to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the War Room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
It is Saturday afternoon. We are tucked away in the War Room in southern Idaho, west end of the Magic Valley. It's still smoky out. It's still very, very hot outside.
It's nasty outside.
It's nasty. It's just me, and it's just he hasn't been on for a while.
It's been a while.
But we have, and we're gonna have to change his name, but we'll go back to the old name so people know who this is. We got Eric from NAPA.
Eric from NAPA, formerly from NAPA.
Formerly. Eric, it's like the Prince. It's Prince, formerly whatever.
We'll take that. Royalty. I like it.
Royalty. Eric, formerly known as Eric from, but I don't care. Anyhow, You're law enforcement now.
Yes, we're done with that chapter.
So you disappeared. Actually, let's before we get into the meat of it, I need my other guys here to keep me on track. They keep me on track.
I just let you free flow.
Yeah. And I know you don't like doing it without notes. And I know that really bothers you. So guess what? We're going to do it without notes today.
Let's roll.
Okay. So what have you done this week that was Second Amendment related?
I have been breaking in my new G19X.
G19X. I've heard about these. I looked at these.
It's amazing. It will change your life. The grip.
It's it's a Glock.
No, this is not just a Glock.
It's a Glock.
Look at the barrel, the crown on the barrel, the marksman barrel, the cool color.
It's a G19 with a 17 grip.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's all it is.
It makes no sense.
It just melts. I don't even want to let it go. I hold on to it all the time.
What? I don't understand it because you conceal the barrel. The barrel can be as long as it wants.
Yes.
But the grip needs to be shorter.
I don't have an issue concealing the grip.
You appendix carry.
I do appendix carry.
It makes no sense.
It's a Gen 5 lower.
If it's not good enough for the military, it ain't good enough for me.
I believe it was on $1 issue because you got to pay for quality. And apparently the government didn't want to pay for quality.
They want to spend our government dollars with Austria.
No, it's a great gun. I love it. It
probably is.
I understand where you're coming from, though. And it is backwards from what most people actually desire in a concealed carry.
I'm probably afraid that if I were to get one, or if I were to shoot it, I'm going to want one.
You would want it.
And I'm kind of slowly creating a list over the last 2 weeks of some stuff I want.
Well, what's G19X number one? What's next?
I shot and it was made by PSA, so Palmetto State Armory. Mm-hmm. It's like an AR type platform. That's what I got one. But this is I don't AR. I'm not a rifle guy, so I get the difference confused. But it's a carbine or an AR style. Shoots 9mm.
Ooh.
And that we shot that today. Had some classes today. That thing's a blast. Had a little red dot on it, and it was fun.
And it was a Palmetto Arms?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It ran.
That's cool.
I mean, no recoil. It was a 9mm, and then a rifle, so no recoil whatsoever.
What kind of magazines?
It took Glock. His took Glock magazines.
Glock magazines.
That was he put like a 30 rounder in it. We just went for broke. That thing was fun. The women in my ladies' classes were shooting it, and they absolutely loved it.
I've been looking at getting a Vector, and it's the similar. Takes a Glock magazine. It's kind of a futuristic looking gun, but that's kind of the cool factor.
It's a taser. It's like a phaser. It's a phaser, isn't it?
It's called a Vector. I don't know the quality or even where it came from, but it looks like it's just one of those guns that I want. I don't really have a need for it, but it takes Glock mags. You can do 10mm, 9mm, 45s,
really,
the whole 9 yards. And it's
10mm might be fun.
I've never shot a 10mm. I have you ever played with a 10?
I've shot a 10 before.
Yeah.
10, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like a good like almost like a hunting round for handgun caliber.
I think the 10mm was developed from the FBI, correct? And that branched out to the 40 or something like that.
It's when they were trying to bastardize all these rounds together. And funny thing is, they all went back to the freaking 9.
Everybody's going back to the 9.
That's right.
Yep.
Because Todd knows where it's at.
I won't carry a 9.
What is it you carry?
40 in a 35.
But you shoot the G19X.
Target practice.
It's good enough to shoot, but it's not good enough to carry. Is that what?
I'm actually a big believer in the 9mm.
So why don't you carry that?
When I'm off duty, I do carry this.
Okay, that's what we're talking.
I do carry this, and
we'll get on to your on-duty stuff here in a little while.
I tell you one thing: my wife used to shoot an XDS.
Yes.
In a 9mm.
Yes.
And I got her to shoot this. She won't touch the XDS anymore after shooting this because it's bigger grip. She can get a good grip on it, and she can incredibly accurately hit her targets.
Really? It's got a different barrel in it, right?
It does. I think they call it a marksman barrel. I think that's what
so
Glock's
it's like a performance type.
Honestly, I don't think anybody could shoot a stock Glock barrel to full capacity. So I don't really think that adds to any kind of. Can you shoot a stock Glock to its maximum capacity with just a regular Glock barrel?
I can hit the freaking bullseye.
Exactly.
What's the maximum capacity?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, you need to clarify. You need to clarify. You need to clarify that statement because I'm a bit confused.
Well, what does the marksman barrel? I mean, I don't really understand why they made the barrel better.
They just renamed it so you'd spend more money on it. How much did you spend on that?
I'm not sure.
How much did you spend on it?
$550, something like that.
Well, that's not bad. It's Glock pricing.
I think it was $550, $5 or $550. And then I had to get the Enforce Light for it. All sorts of add-ons. And it came with night sights, too.
I'm going to have to go out and shoot it in
you
a minute.
You have to. It'll change your life.
I don't need another gun. Well, I do need another gun, just not another Glock. One is enough.
It's a great gun, though.
So, okay.
That's what I did Second Amendment related.
You've just done a lot of shooting.
A lot of shooting.
So today I finished up my third class in my first ladies women's series class, and I tell you what, those were. And I actually start my next series next Saturday. My next group is super fun. These women were fantastic, and we got to learn stuff. When we learned all this, and I've gone over this before, but we learned. We went over the basics, fine-tuned them in the first class, and then a month later we had the second class. Mm-hmm. And I taught them how to draw and shoot, how to do mag changes.
Wow. In
the second class, and then we touched on the basics again. And we're always going to go back and touch on the basics.
Yep.
And then on this class, we touched on the basics, did draw from the holster and shoot, mag changes, and we worked on trigger reset and how to point shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And then we kind of combined them, and I got out. I actually went and bought a shot timer.
Okay, that's my next purchase. So
yeah,
you'll have to show it to me later.
You know what? It's like $30.
Yeah.
On Amazon, and it was the first time we played with it was today, and so we ran that shot timer, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And they all had a blast. Excuse me, and they learned how to tie everything together. Mm-hmm. And they left here so much more confident, just grinning from it. One lady liked it so much she signed up for the second one.
Really?
Which it's the same class, just she wants to take it again.
How many ladies did you have?
So I had 2 classes on Saturdays. On the Saturday, so I had 2 different classes. So I had one morning, one afternoon, and I think the morning one was 5, and the afternoon was 4.
That's
so
great.
I wanted to keep them small and have a guy come in and help me, so they get more individual type of attention. Mm-hmm. And I did them all. So that's 3 classes, and they had to prepay. I did have some people that didn't show up to this. In fact, the first class today only had 1 person in it.
Really?
But I had them prepay, and it was actually really reasonable for 3 classes, $200.
That's a great deal for that small of one-on-one attention.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed the heck out of it. It's so much fun doing that over a basic permit class.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think I'm impressed with my wife when she shoots.
Yeah.
Once she got over the initial kind of fear and it being a little bit intimidated of guns, she kind of gets into it now. And I tell you what, she's a crack shot. She is a good shot.
There was a gal in the first class. They were all great. There was a gal in the first class. Since there was one, we spent a little more time with her because there was just one, and she's here for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And she was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had her draw from the holster and timed her from then. We didn't do that with the second group. But we also had her come from low ready. So and I mean, this isn't if you go out and do it a bunch. This is our first time doing this. first time doing this. So we don't worry about hitting a bullseye. We hit center mass, which is just a square piece of paper. Okay, just defensive shooting. She was at 7 yards.
Mm-hmm.
She had 4 rounds.
Yep.
And in fact, I'm going to look this up on my phone so I can get you the right number, right? Because I sent him to her husband because I took pictures of everything.
Well, that way she can brag.
Yeah, so let me pull them up here. So her best, let's see, where is it at? That was 4 rounds at...
What was she shooting?
She was shooting a Walther CCP, I think.
I think that sounds familiar.
So, yeah, I'm looking at this. We got her to speed up real quick.
Yeah.
She got 4 rounds, drew at 7 yards.
Yeah.
This one was from low ready, actually. This was from low ready. It wasn't from the draw. She fired 4 rounds, got them on target in 1.94 seconds.
That's great.
1.94 seconds.
That is great.
And she worked up to it, but that was only like her 4th round.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
Super impressive.
Yeah, she should be very proud.
Super
That's
impressive.
Great.
So we had her holster and do it from a full draw.
Yeah.
And granted, she wasn't from concealment, but she did have to draw, and she did it in like 2.16.
That's great. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Those are great numbers
newbie,
to work off of.
Her splits were like crazy low. I didn't take pictures of all them, but absolutely
that's awesome.
fantastic. She was so freaking fast.
Oh yeah, that's great. So are you teaching them like clear garments and everything?
If they were like that, yeah. So what I did is, and I may actually set up another series of class that will build even off of this one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did teach them to clear garments a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I made most of them just kind of, I suggested most of them start with like they tuck their shirt in behind their holster.
Yeah.
Because that's just one more thing. You need to be comfortable with actual draw and shoot from a holster before you worry about the garment.
Yeah.
And you can't just jump right into that. And I felt that with these classes, I needed to slow down and focus on things so I didn't want to flood them with so much info they get frustrated.
Were most of them carrying on their person, or were they putting it in a bag?
They were, one of them may end up putting it in a bag, but they were carrying on their person.
Got it. Did you go over safety and stuff?
Oh,
for children and that kind of stuff?
Always safety. And then when they did the draw, we hammered on safety constantly. You have to. That's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Drawing is a dangerous thing.
Yes, it is.
And I always made sure, and they did reholster with a loaded weapon a few times. Mm-hmm. More often than not, depending on the person and depending on their holster. We had some holsters that were okay. Holsters can be expensive, and I think they learned the quality of their gear was important.
Yes, it is.
And depending on how they were doing it, I would only let them do certain things depending on what they were using. If that makes any sense, because we don't need any NDs around here.
No.
We don't like NDs.
No, that is a bad thing.
Yeah. So other than that, that's what I did. So I did that all day. I've actually got another class tomorrow morning at 8:00.
Wow.
I had one Friday evening, 2 today, and 1 tomorrow morning.
You're pretty busy this time of the year, though.
I am
swamped.
Every Saturday's busy. Every Friday evening's busy.
Yeah.
Thursday evenings, about half of them are full up, and I've actually taken like 2 vacation days.
2. That's a weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. to do classes, not to take classes, to host classes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm busy.
Have you done any training for yourself?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
I've been busy because I do have a day job as well.
Yeah.
So I go out and shoot a little bit, and I don't know if I do call it, I guess, training, but it's just I just show up a little early and go out there a little early and shoot a little bit. You know what
relaxing.
I'm saying? I'm just shooting.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting.
Yep.
That's all I'm doing. But anyhow, we don't want to talk about me. We want to. Well, let's say this first. The other guys aren't here. We got one camping, one's on vacation. So that was just me, and you were gracious enough to step in.
I made my way here. I overcome obstacles
with the wife,
and I'm
Costco.
Here. Nobody else is here.
Nobody else is here.
I'm committed.
I think. Are you calling everyone else out?
I'm totally calling everybody else out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I never get to see anybody else.
I know.
Every time I come over, nobody's here.
You need to come more often. I know you're busy, though.
Now I'm back. You know what? And this is great. I actually have days off now.
Awesome.
I have days off.
I like it.
Yes, wife has me incredibly busy on most of them, but I have days off.
So let's tell everyone what you did. I'm sure they remember. For a while, we talked about you all the time.
Yeah.
And then we grew bored.
You did. You did.
You
grew
were
bored.
busy. You were busy, and I didn't want to bother you.
Yep. No. So I made the switch over. I was working at NAPA for quite a while, and I have always wanted to go into a law enforcement career, and so I went ahead and made the switch, and now I work for the city of Gooding as a law enforcement officer, just a patrol.
It's dream. It was a dream, kind of,
It
wasn't it?
It was a dream. It's still a dream. It's while I'm still in the training phases right now, but every once in a while it kind of hits you like, whoa, look what I'm doing.
A little surreal, huh?
Yeah, I'm helping people out, and it's that's why I'm there.
Getting paid to pack a gun and drive fast?
Drive fast, pack guns. I got to drive an ambulance the other day. I mean, you never know from one day to the next what's going to happen.
You're in Gooding.
And yeah, I mean, it's something new
you might
every
be writing
day.
a speeding ticket or putting a cow down.
Oh, I've put in several cows. We've got cow calls and horses.
Did you have to shoot them?
No. I'm
well, like
no.
a car hit, a car hit him.
No, we get them off the road. Are you kidding me? I'm there. I get them off the road
But
quick.
if you show up and the cars hit him,
yeah, we can put them down. If we have
barbecue,
to, right?
So do you really honestly have to like track every round that you fire? So if you have to put a cow down, you gotta
everything has to be reported.
I was explained that, and I understand why.
Yep. Anytime I use duty ammo and I actually discharge my duty pistol, I have to track it.
So I was talking to the other guy that helps me with my class. He's law enforcement, Twin Falls County, and he was telling the class why, and it makes sense now. I guess I never bothered to ask. It's not that big a deal. But he said, yeah, he's got every time he discharges around, he has to fill out a paperwork or let someone who issues him his ammo let them know
exactly
what he did with it. And I was kind of wondering why. And he said he went out on a call a while back, earlier in the summer, and some guy said that some guy accused him of shooting at him.
Oh, yep.
And he goes, I never shot at him. And they were able to go back, and they knew how much ammo I had and how much I had said that I had shot in previous whatever, and they were able to look at what I had and confirm that I wasn't missing any ammo. So he says it's one little round, you wouldn't think it's that important, but he's like, it saves your butt.
Yeah.
Because if I was missing one round, it would have been unaccounted for. Who do you think is going to win? Me or the guy that said I shot at him?
Exactly.
And it makes 100% sense to me.
Yep, it totally does.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a different career, that's for sure. It's one minute you're helping,
right?
With like the free lunch program at the park, and the next minute you're, somebody's getting beat up and you're helping them out.
That's kind of
you
cool.
never know. You never know what's going to come across the radio.
So you got some pretty. I mean, you can't talk about them. If you can't talk about them, I understand. But have you got into some wild calls?
Very wild stuff. Honestly, it surprised me for where we're at. I would always think of that as being a big city kind of events or stuff, but no, it happens everywhere.
Well, I hear there's lots of, and I know I'm not asking, but I hear there's lots of, and I don't know what you guys get in Gooding. I hear the new thing around here is heroin.
Yes.
It's the new big, it's like the new meth.
It's, I've actually got some friends that work on Border Patrol, and they said that's what they're switching to now coming across the border.
That's crazy.
A lot more. They don't see the marijuana, like the big hay bales that you used to see.
Right.
He's like, they don't really run into that. It's heroin. So
it's the new drug, man.
That and meth. Meth is just, it's a sad thing to see the people on that.
So let me ask you this. With everything, and I know where you stood before, and I want to know if your thoughts have changed. Well, I mean, and how long have you actually been on duty?
3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks. You've seen a lot in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're on your own now.
Well, there's other people in the area, but I get to patrol by myself.
Right. That's what I meant. I'm not trying to give up your secrets.
Yeah. Yes.
No. So with everything that you see, I mean, I'm sure you would, but would you stress even more that people carry a handgun for the protection in this area?
I think a lot of people bury their head in the sand of what is actually in the communities.
There's a lot more in there than we know about.
Most people don't see anything.
Right.
Or they're oblivious to it and they want to deny that there's a problem.
Right.
So my wife carries,
Right.
There's a reason that she carries now.
Right.
It's because, she has had a bird's eye view of the things that happen in the community.
Right.
And like I said, a lot of people bury their head in the sand. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to think about it.
Right.
That happens to other people. That happens in California or back east somewhere.
Right.
It could happen anywhere. Anywhere.
That's crazy. So like the same stuff that happens here, it happens in California.
Yep, it does.
That kind of stuff. We just don't. Maybe we don't hear about it. We don't see it.
Might not see it as often, but it happens. There. Yep.
So there's
people
a guy
people.
that used to help me with my class. He's now FBI, and he didn't tell me a bunch of stuff by any means, but he worked for Twin Falls City and moved up to detective. And I think he was on SWAT, and I believe he was on the bomb squad. He was, you name it, he did it. I mean, the dude ran up the ranks like crazy. He used to help out the FBI on the side.
Wow.
He said that there was more stuff that went on in this valley, that even terrorist-related type stuff, that we don't even know about, and that they wouldn't tell us because it would just mess with us. They don't want. I mean, he said if people really knew I mean, I'm not talking just terrorism, but he goes, the terrorist sells the ties to this, the drugs, the this, the that, the everything else that he had to respond to or help respond to because he was helping the FBI out. He said people wouldn't leave their houses.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
He goes,
it's sad, but it's everywhere.
He's like, you guys think you're safe here, but there's stuff you don't.
Lock
it'd melt your brain.
Yeah,
he said.
Lock your doors, lock your cars. I mean, it's common sense stuff, but people get the small town,
mentality.
It's
not going to happen here.
It's here. People move into the state. The state's growing. People are coming from back east. They're coming from California, Oregon.
So you know where I live. I live on the end of a long driveway. It's a half-mile long.
Yep.
One way. I lock my doors. That's just the way. But should I lock my doors?
I would. Of course.
I mean, I'm just...
Yeah.
This area is...
How many cameras do you have out there?
9.
Yeah. Exactly. That's something. I mean, I live in the same kind of area. There's nothing around me,
but stuff happens.
Stuff happens all the time.
Let's back up because something happened before you went to post. Do you mind talking about that?
Oh, with my wife?
Yeah, because you mentioned it to me a little bit, but we never got a chance to get into it.
Yeah.
And let's tell me a story, man.
So I got a call when I was still at NAPA. From my wife saying that there was a couple guys out front of our house, and one was doing push-ups on the front porch.
What?
And one flipped over a swing set in the front yard.
What?
I'm not joking.
They hadn't even knocked on the door?
No, they knocked on the door and they said they're out of gas.
Okay.
And so she cracked the door and was like, "Hey, we're out of gas." And she's like, "Nope." Shut the door, locked it, had her gun, the whole 9 yards, called 911, which was great because she didn't call me first.
Right.
So she listened to me.
Right.
Because there's nothing I can do from Buell.
Right.
So,
and they decided to do CrossFit workout right there.
One guy started doing push-ups on the front porch, and that just sent her over the top. She was like putting the kids in the back room. She barricaded herself in the house, like, get them as far away. And, because, I mean, two creepy dudes show
up. What
up.
are they doing?
Exactly.
And one was doing push-ups, and the other one was what?
Pulled over a swing set.
Was he pissed, or was he just laughing about it? Do we
know? I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it.
And then what happened?
So she called the cops, and one of the sheriff's deputies came out and ran him off. And that was before I was involved with them, so I don't really know exactly what happened. But they never been back.
What the hell were they doing?
I have no idea. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. And so,
was your wife thinking she was gonna have to shoot somebody?
She was really shaken up. She was in tears when she called me.
I would imagine.
After the officer left, she was in tears because she's never been confronted with that kind of fear before.
What the hell were they doing?
Yeah,
I'm scratching my head. You don't even know. Did they possibly high?
Could have been.
Why do you just flip over a swing set?
Pulled over a swing set and doing push-ups on the front porch.
Do like push-ups right there.
Exactly.
Why do you do that?
Who knows? There's a lot of unexplained stuff, and I see it a lot more now, so it doesn't really surprise me.
I think they're
much.
I think that they were high.
Probably they could have been.
They had to have been high. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, but you never know. It was the middle of the day. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
I mean, I don't need to know where you live because you're law enforcement now. But I mean, you guys live like me. You're just kind of out, kind of in a spot.
Yep, we're out
there. Gotcha.
And it just happened. When I was younger, our house was broke into, and we lived in the middle of nowhere also.
You told that story. I remember that.
We had 20 guns stolen, and it was the middle of nowhere, small town America.
Right.
And it happens.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm still a huge fan of, concealed carry and getting the proper training. Just having a gun is not enough.
No, it's not.
It's not. You can't safe because you could harm other people, harm yourself, you could make it 10 times worse.
And I'm going to tell you right now, concealed carry class is good, but that ain't training.
No.
Concealed carry class is going to make sure you know how to fire your gun. We're going to teach you very, very basic fundamentals. We're going to teach you the law. It's going to take 8 hours. It's good, and it's a good class, but it's not going to teach you how to shoot.
The stress that will be put on you in that time, good luck getting your gun out of your holster.
Oh, yeah.
And actually functioning it.
Uh-huh.
So,
making it work.
Just try dialing 911 on your cell phone when your heart's pumping and your adrenaline's going. Can you remember your password? Can you unlock your cell phone?
Yeah.
Like, that's all stuff that you think, oh, no big deal. That's easy. No, there's a different world when you're under high-pressure stress.
So let me tell you about these dreams I've been having.
Oh, let's go. Talk to me. Tell me your feelings. Yes.
Every now and then I have these dreams. It's like I need to use something has come up. I'm trying to protect. Someone's breaking into my house. Someone's in my house.
And you don't have a Glock.
No. I don't have a Glock. No, I actually have my gun, but it's like I draw it and I'm going to shoot these people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I pull the trigger and nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. It's like squishy. It's like a sponge. Like nothing happens. Like something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then I'm like freak out and then I like wake up. Are those normal?
Tap, rack. Yeah.
Yeah. That is just so, that's the dream I have.
Yeah. I understand.
I don't know. It's like deep thoughts with Todd or something.
Yep. Things don't work. That's my biggest fear. That's how
that things don't work.
Things don't work.
Tap,
they
rack,
don't.
bang.
Exactly.
That's funny. That was a great, dude. I missed you. That was a lot. That was fantastic. So, what else?
Yeah.
Have you issued lots of speeding tickets?
Yes.
Is that like the number one thing you do?
We work traffic. That's our biggest thing.
You ever pull over someone who's just super pissed off? You pulled them over. For
of
speeding?
course. Yeah.
Do they get like mouthy with you?
Oh, they do.
Have you ever had to prone someone out against a vehicle yet?
No, not yet.
Dang it.
I'm looking forward to
Do you ever give them a higher ticket just because they're being a ass?
No.
Oh, come on.
But you got to understand, nobody wants to see me walk up to their car. They're all a little
I don't
edgy.
want to see a law enforcement walk into my car, but you know what? I can guarantee you, if I get pulled over, you know what the first thing I'm going to say is?
I have a gun in the car?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to hand them my permit.
Yep.
First thing I'm going to say when they walk up and say, "Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?" I'm going to say, "Yeah, I know why you pulled me over. I looked down, saw that I was speeding, and bam, there you were." I know. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm pissed off at myself.
Yeah.
For doing it, I'm pissed off at myself for getting caught.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I understood.
So I'll be the first one to admit I was doing something wrong. I've never once have I argued with somebody.
Most of the time, everybody's pretty cool, and we don't always issue a ticket. If it's there's leniency there.
Right.
Sometimes if I see something, it's like, okay, they were just they weren't doing anything dangerous. They weren't endangering anybody else's lives.
Right.
It's okay. There's a little leniency there.
Have you ever issued a ticket for texting and driving yet?
No, I haven't.
No. How fast? What's the fastest that? Well, you've pulled some. What's the highest speed they were going? The worst.
45 and a 25.
That's not that bad.
It's not too bad, but it's
crazy.
Middle of town. So.
Have you done any car chases yet?
No, haven't.
Are you looking forward to the day you get to pit someone?
We don't get to pit.
What?
They won't let us pit.
What?
No.
What are you supposed to do then?
Well, other agencies can do it. We don't.
Why
do
can't
it.
you pit? Because you're city?
There's nowhere to do it in our tiny little town.
So what the hell are you supposed to do? Why do they take all the fun away?
Right? Exactly.
Do you get to put down spike strips?
There's lots of other things we can do. Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, and I don't need to know where they are. So, do you guys have any like speed traps set up, like a place? Like,
of course, I've got my spots.
So once you go,
I know
in
where
there,
I'm
once
going.
you go in there, is there like a list? Is there like a list of spots?
No.
Do they go in there and they say, "Okay, you can sit here, here, and here, and right here. You're gonna nail someone every freaking time," or do you just come up with your own spots?
You just hunt. You're hunting.
You're
hunting. You're always
so
looking.
This is like a game to you. You're hunting.
It is. It's a
speeders.
real life.
You're hunting speeders. I'm not.
Yep.
I'm just giving you crap. You know that, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I'm just giving you a hard time. So you're hunting speeders.
Yep. Yeah. It's awesome. I'm so glad I did. I wish I wouldn't have waited so long.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have your pull night shift?
Yep.
All night?
Yep.
Is that what you're working mostly? You're the new guy.
I was doing that last night.
So
Night shift is a different world.
And I know I'm not talking about calls.
Mm-hmm.
What's the craziest? Because I mean, there's people out at night still.
Mm-hmm.
What is, and not a call, nothing that's actually involved you. What's the craziest thing you've seen at night? And you're just scratching your head, going, "What in the hell did I just witness?"
Oh,
not illegal,
just driving around, just seeing stuff.
Just craziness. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
There's that much?
It's night shift. It's a different world.
But it's gooding.
Everybody wakes up at night, and the wrong people wake up.
So what do you see?
It's been pretty calm. There hasn't really been anything too
you
wild.
haven't seen anyone like walking down the street. You're going, they haven't broke the law, but they can't walk a straight line, or they can't do this, or they can't do that. Do you see different things now than if you were not a law enforcement officer and you were just driving through town at that time?
My wife constantly tells me turn it off. Because I'm always looking. I'm always looking at people. Just walking through the store, I'm looking at people's waistbands, pockets.
Right.
I mean, that's just, and I'm still so new at it.
Trying to survive.
But a lot of like the senior guys, they're
good.
They're good. They can look at people and
it's a small town.
Look at the pocket.
A lot of these people that you are going to come up across, you're going to come up across numerous times,
mm-hmm. and
you're going to get to know everyone that's trouble causer in that town.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Have you got to tase anybody yet?
No. I haven't got to tase anybody yet.
Did you get tased?
No, I haven't been tased.
What? No.
Have not been tased.
You're supposed to be tased.
I have several guys from the academy that want to come up and tase me, though.
I thought to carry a taser, you had to be tased.
No.
So that's a lie.
I don't. Maybe some agencies, you don't have to get tased. You used to.
Will they?
I'll get tased. I don't have any issue with it.
If you said,
it looks kind of exciting.
If you told your boss or whoever, your chief, is that your boss, chief?
Yep.
You told the chief, hey, look, I carry this taser around. I want to be tased with it because I want to know what's going to happen. Would they sanction you coming over here and letting me tase you?
Probably not.
Why not?
Probably not. That'd be a bad idea.
Just one tase.
Let's not do that. Let's say we did, and let's not do it.
Just one tase. I'd let you stand in water too. Stand in this bucket of water. Let's tase you.
Yeah. No. Probably not going to happen.
Did they hit you with mace?
Mm-mm. No, that's corrections. They all get pepper sprayed, and yeah.
Well, it's easy. You're no fun.
It's all different. Every agency's different.
I know.
How everything's done.
It's what I'm learning. It's what I'm learning.
I've learned that too.
So
yeah, I've learned that the black and white letter of the law is shaded with about 9,000 areas of gray.
Yeah,
so it's a completely different.
Do you got any cool nicknames?
What do they call
you? Do cops have cool nicknames?
The new guy?
Yeah,
I can't talk about those on the radio.
Those kind of new nicknames. I see how it goes.
No, it's been really good. You know what? Even when I was up at post,
right?
My wife was outside changing waters. And one of the deputies saw the flashlight. He was driving by, and totally spotlighted the whole property.
That's cool. Because they know where you live, right?
They know where I live, and everybody watches out for everybody.
That's awesome.
It's a family. That's something.
That's cool.
That was the biggest. That was a huge draw because when I was in the oil field in Texas, it was a family. It was a community. You were with the guys. You never knew what was going to happen when you're out there. You never knew.
They take care of it.
It was very dangerous.
Right.
Everybody had each other's back, and everybody watched out for each other.
Right.
And you really get that same feeling in the law enforcement community, because you never know what's going to happen.
That's cool. I like that. That's got to be.
It's a huge.
And you guys kind of have a spotlight on you, kind of a target on you, because you are in a small town, and if you piss someone off, the wrong person off.
Yeah.
Even if you put them in jail, they're going to get out sometime.
Yep. You could run into them at the grocery store.
You could be at the grocery store with your family. And then all of a sudden they know who your wife and kids are.
One of the biggest things I've had a lot of people tell me, just kind of from an old dog to a new guy,
right?
Treat everybody with respect.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things.
Sure.
And, this is it's a job. This is what you do.
Right.
They break the law. They've got to pay the consequences for it. But treat everybody with respect.
You don't have to be a dick about it.
Exactly. Yep.
Right.
So that's one of the biggest things that everyone has told me.
Right.
Because you see a lot of the law enforcement, anti-law enforcement stuff, and it's ridiculous. What everybody sees, and then what we actually do.
Two different things.
I talk to kids fishing, and watch them ride their skateboards for me, and that's the fun part of what I do.
Well, you're interacting too. You also want to be that good role model. You want to have that good interaction with the kids because they may or may not be the troublemakers down the road.
Yep.
I mean,
they're the future. They are the future.
They are. Yeah. Of that town. That's who's going to run that town later on.
Yep.
Mayors, the doctors, the dentists, the blue collar guy. I mean, that's who they're going to be.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. Though, I mean, just if we're not going somewhere to help somebody out, is just community policing.
Right. That's cool.
Being a good representative and talking with the kids. They love it. Handing out stickers. You can burn through a pack of junior officer stickers in a heartbeat.
You guys got stacks of them at the station?
Yeah, rolls. They love it though, and they look at all the stuff I'm wearing, ask them a million questions, and look at the cars and the lights, and that's great. It gives a good representation of what we actually do and who we actually are compared to what they see and hear on the radio and on the TV. And
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it
glad,
makes you feel really good.
I'm glad there's guys out there like you that are willing to do that. I do know that you see all those videos and stuff, and there's every group's got its bad apple or two.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
and it is what it is, and people are doing it for the wrong reason. It sounds like you're doing it for the right reason. Yeah. It sounds like your kids are going to take you to a lot of career days and what my daddy does, and
most definitely.
Yeah,
yep.
I'm
most
sure.
Definitely. Even though I was informed the other day that my son does not want to follow in my footsteps, he wants to be a fish and game officer.
Nothing
and
wrong
protect
with that.
the wildlife.
He still has to go to post.
He still has to go to post.
He still has to go to post. So that's pretty cool. And he could essentially, even as a fish and game officer, he's got the same powers as you do.
Exactly.
He leans more on the wildlife side. But he can still pull over a speeder. He can still.
They assist all the time. They really do.
Especially out there where there's less of you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So that's cool.
It was a post was an adventure. That was I did a lot of running, a lot of fighting, simunition rounds.
When you were running, were you like, Todd would enjoy this?
Todd would absolutely be digging this, and I'm just out here sweating.
I don't know. You run on concrete. I don't dig the concrete.
No,
stuff.
You know what? We did a couple free runs just through Meridian and all over and down Eagle and stuff.
Right.
And that was I would rather run through the desert any day.
Yeah, concrete's rough.
It was brutal, and it was so hot. Oh, yeah. It was brutal.
And people are like staring at you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Great.
Yeah, no, it was fun though. It was a good experience. A lot of great training. We had some world-class instructors for firearms.
Awesome.
I totally dug the firearms week. I got paid to go shoot somebody else's ammo, and I had private instructors to guide me through the entire thing.
Were worried about the
I
was
worried.
And what did I tell you when you came over here like 2 days before you left? Or whatever it was. What did I say? You're fine.
What do you have to worry about? Yeah.
You're fine.
It's
more about hitting center mass and not the little tight groups. You're like me though. You get caught up in the bullseye game.
That's all. I'm a rifle guy. All I do is shoot rifles.
Yeah.
That is my world. Pistols, if I can't have 3 rounds touching at 50 yards, I'm a failure.
Yeah, that's not the way it is with handguns.
So now I've learned though, just get them on paper.
Get them on paper.
Yeah. No, I did really good. I missed a possible by one round. I was super bummed, and it was a walking left-handed shot. And
it's okay.
I totally
you did great,
threw it.
though.
I was so bummed.
Is there some people there that I'm not trying to get you to downplay your fellow officers? Mm-hmm. Was there some people there that their shooting was just like whoa?
At the beginning, there was there were people that
did you look at them going,
didn't
you're
shoot all the
have
time.
A rough time.
You know what? The instructors were fantastic.
Were they?
They
Good.
were amazing instructors, and the people that were struggling, they worked through them on one-on-one type classes.
Right.
Everybody passed. And it was a pretty rough, course to qualify on. And it was great. I learned a ton. And I've been around handguns and rifles my whole life. And I walked away.
You carry a 40?
I carry a 40.
Why aren't they going to the 9s?
I think probably down the road we will.
I mean, it's a big expense to switch everything over.
It's an expense. I don't have an issue shooting a 40. Well, plus, I shoot the 35, so it's a big gun.
Right. I don't either, but 9s are just make more sense.
I don't know. There's a wallop difference there.
If you get a really good hollow point in a 9mm, I think you're going to be The ballistic numbers might be a little off.
Yeah.
But I still think you're going to do just as much damage with a 9 as you will with a 40. And I guarantee you I'm going to get more rounds on my target than you will with your 40. Quicker.
That sounds like a challenge, and I accept. I have no issues. We can go to battle.
Not today. I'm kind of tired.
That's fine. We'll get to it after the holidays when things slow down.
Here you go.
No, I like the 40. I don't have an issue shooting the 40. 9, I carry a 9. I carry the G19X.
You want to know what my issue with 40 is? My issue with the 40 is that everyone on God's green earth thinks that 40 is where it's at, and they all hand their wives and their girlfriends and everyone a 40 cal, because if you ain't shooting something with a 4 in it, you are nothing.
Yeah. No.
And that's what kills me. And then then all of a sudden they come out with subcompact guns and shields and stuff like that.
In a 40.
Everyone wants them in a freaking 40.
No.
And that's the worst gun to get a 40 in ever. I'd rather have a 45 in that any day of the week.
No, I'm not a big fan. I've shot the Glock 22 in a 40 and the 35 in a 40, and maybe I'm just used to it, but it is a snappier gun. When I first started shooting this beautiful G19X that I'm holding, by the way, you see it? Beautiful.
I see
it's gorgeous.
I don't know how gorgeous it is, but it's a 19X.
It felt, I was like, am I having some issues with my ammo? Because the recoil, the snap, wasn't there. But you can get on target very fast with a 9.
You can.
And my wife can pick this gun up and just fire away accurately.
Yeah.
When she shoots a 40, not so accurate. It is a difference.
I'm going to tell you right now, as we go along here,
mm-hmm.
I'm getting kind of curious to shoot this thing.
You need to shoot it.
I will shoot it before you leave today. 17
lower, Gen 5, 17 lower, ambidextrous. Yes, got to have that. 19 upper.
I think
everybody badmouths this thing.
I'm not bad-mouthing it.
No, you're not the first person though that's told me that it's backwards, because it is
backwards.
I can fit almost 20 rounds in this thing.
You know what I shot today?
Carry it.
You know what I shot today?
What?
I could fit 22 rounds in, and I was Canik TP9.
A what?
Canik. It's a gun from Turkey.
Really?
And they aren't that much money, and I was thoroughly impressed with this thing.
Really?
Fantastic.
I've never even heard
gun.
of it before.
Canik. Kanik or ICK. It's made in Turkey. Fantastic.
I'll have to look that up.
Stupid little gun.
Huh.
I mean, this guy, I think you can buy him new for, I want to say they're like $300, 300 something bucks.
A revolver?
No. Semi-auto.
Semi-auto?
Fantastic gun.
Like a striker fire?
Yeah. Fantastic gun.
Yeah, I've never even heard of one before.
I know.
There's all sorts of guns
They've only been out for about 2 years.
I'll have to look it up. I know there's my dad just picked up a shotgun. There's a Baikal.
I know someone who's buying
it's
one.
a Russian.
That would be Bob.
Really?
In fact, the one that he's going to buy, he's buying it used. $200.
Really?
His wife brought it out today and wanted me to. She wanted me to look at it and shoot it, and I said, "You buy it. If you don't, I will." It's really slick, and it's the same ugly color as your 19X.
It's not ugly. This is baked into the metal. This is some special scientific Glock
give me some Krylon.
Honestly, I hate the color. I wish it was solid black.
I'll be honest with you. I like the color of the base, but the top looks like it's kind of a gold.
It does look like a gold gun.
It looks a little bit like someone tried to chrome it or something.
It's coyote brown.
It's ugly.
It's not gold.
The slide is her. It looks like it should be on some old Cadillac that someone tried to spruce up or something.
I don't know if I'm going to let you shoot this thing now.
The top is ugly. I'm sorry.
It's different. It's really, the case was brown. Everything in the case, the mags, everything's brown. It's just kind of
the top is where it's starting to wear is ugly.
Where?
Yeah, there's some wear marks on that.
No. That's the holster coming off on here. You can scratch that off. This is that's baked into the metal. This thing is tough.
I'll throw some Krylon on it and throw it in an oven. I got a powder coater. We'll powder coat that baby.
Yeah. No, the coating's just so tough it's tearing up my holster.
See, it would look cool if it was gray. That whole gun was gray.
I don't think I would have bought it.
With black highlights.
Black and gray. No, I'm digging the brown. It grows on you after a while.
It's like an old Cadillac Eldorado.
Cadillac in brown. That's a gold.
That's a gold.
That's Dayton's.
That is gold on the top of that.
That's muddy. That's Coyote Brown.
That's gold.
That is Coyote Brown right there.
That's a damn sickly looking coyote.
I think it's beautiful.
Okay.
You'll change your mind when you shoot it.
Okay, I'm going to have to haul a target out there.
Oh, yes. Terrible. Horrible thing.
Yeah, I just cleaned up.
Shooting a new gun.
So anyhow, I'm glad your job's treating you good.
Yeah, I really like it. I really
think we need
enjoy
to
it.
get you back more on the podcast some more.
You know what? I'm
You
back
know you're invited.
in the area now.
You know you're invited anytime. I just got to make sure I've got enough mics going.
How many mics are you
I can
setting
fit up to
for
4.
now? How's the country count going?
You know what? We've kind of stalled out.
What about in America?
I've got America. So I figured out how to look at it, technology, right?
Yes,
I
of course.
Clicked on it. I broke it. I can find out how many people in each city and state.
Really? How many do you have in Idaho? There's got to be quite a few from the radio show.
And I don't know if these are like listeners or these like just. I think these are just overall downloads. So this doesn't mean I'm going to get this many downloads every month. They just keeps overall running downloads. So I've had like 400 downloads in Idaho or something.
That's great. That's awesome.
I think I even have a couple in New York, some in California.
Whoa.
I've got a lady that got a hold of me. She comes to this part of Idaho. She's actually from Australia.
Really?
And she comes up. She's going to be up for like 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they got crazy gun laws down there.
Oh yeah.
And she wants to actually take some classes from me while she's up here.
That's great.
So that's how I'm going to get my Australia.
That's how you're going to get your Australia listener.
my Australia download.
That's awesome.
But I'm going to try to talk to her and see if she wants to jump on the podcast. Probably have to clean up my language a little bit, and classes join up a little bit. It's kind of It's a war roomish in here. It's kind of backwoods.
I see your point,
but I like it.
I totally get it.
I like it.
I get it. It's very Idaho.
So I'm going to see if I can get her on and chat.
That would be really neat to hear from another country and perspectives and how she grew up with firearms, and because it hasn't been forever, has it?
Down there. Obviously, she's into firearms, and I know what the media portrays, but I want to know how it really is.
Exactly. Oh, that would be very.
Did they really destroy that?
Interesting.
We all see that iconic pictures of the steamroller running over all the handguns. Is that really the way it worked? I mean, did they really crush that many guns? What's the real law? Has it really improved everything? Because you can sit there all day and you can find out what the media wants you, to know. But what's it really like? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm kind of interested in figuring out.
Yeah, that would be a really neat podcast. You have to see if she would be interested in that.
Maybe by then I can get a board in here, and it'll be in the winter, so it won't be as hot.
Yeah.
And I might get a board in here, and I can plug in like 6 mics or something. And it'd just be fun. We just kind of ask questions. Not a gotcha thing. Mm-hmm. You didn't feel like this was a gotcha thing today, did you?
No.
Okay. Because I'm going to state this right now. Mm-hmm. And I've got opinions about things, right?
Very opinionated.
I can be. I really can. Lots of opinions I don't talk about very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not against law enforcement. But I do see stuff on the internet like everybody else. But I've been around some law enforcement and individuals that are like, I'm God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Then I know you, and I know Stacy, and I've known Ben, and I know some other law enforcement guys. And the salt of the earth, great guys. So I'm not judging law enforcement by everything they do.
Can't go off of what you see on live PD.
And I'm not. Yeah.
That's a different world.
And I'm not. But I mean, I've got questions, and I question absolutely everything. But don't ever think I'm trying to do. What are you looking at?
There's a giant spider.
Yeah, of course. This pest control guy's house. We don't do crap.
It just dropped off that windowsill right by your head.
We had a big one in the middle of one of our podcasts fall down from the ceiling. Dean jumped out of his chair and he's like, "Holy chicken shit! Look at the size of that." That's awesome. Freaking hilarious. We got it on Facebook Live when he did that. It was cool.
Perfect.
But anyhow, so I didn't want you to think it's a gotcha thing.
No, of course not.
If I ever honestly have a law enforcement question, I will ask you.
One of the biggest things that I am happy to do is be the real face of law enforcement. I want to show people what we actually do.
Right.
It's not, we're not kicking doors and the stuff you see on TV all the time. We're helping, little old ladies across the street. We're, walking with kids, to school. Like it's I want to show people the real side of what we do.
It's a community type thing.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not, there's times where it's scary, but there's a lot of times we're just trying to help people get through the worst day of their life sometimes.
Right.
You never know what I'm going to go to, but there's usually somebody that's, in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I love it. It's the greatest thing I ever did.
Awesome.
I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad you did it too. I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're doing what you love.
Yep, definitely.
I can see it in your face. You may be tired, but you're not tired because you hate your job.
Yeah. It's really cool to go to work and be excited to go to work.
I wish I could do that. I do that on my gun classes. That's about it.
Yep.
If you got a call about a rat or a cockroach, don't call me.
I've got voles.
Yeah, everybody does.
I don't.
voles.
I
don't. That's one thing I can control here. You live in the desert. You've got voles.
I've got voles. It's terrible. They've
They
girdled trees and
they killing trees.
I've lost 6 to 10 inch round trees. They'll eat all the bark off the bottom. It's driving me crazy. Me and the boys went out with Red Riders the other night and dogs, and we just obliterated voles. And you can't even tell I did anything. They're back.
You need poison.
Yeah, I'm afraid though with all the dogs.
Then I can't help you.
Yeah,
I can't help you.
That's my biggest fear.
So you run them out with a hose and shoot them.
Yeah, we dig them up, and then the dogs will chase them, hold them there, and then we'll run over with the Red Riders and dispatch them.
Sounds like good bonding time.
It's great.
Are you shooting them with your 40?
No, no, of course not.
Of course,
9mm. It's expensive to shoot a 40.
There you go. Go all out and pop them with a 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyhow, thanks for coming. Any last words?
No, it's good to be back.
You need to come out more often.
I
I was
will
thinking,
definitely
who can I get on here? And I was like, I'm going to get old Eric.
Yeah, definitely.
See
That was good. It worked
Eric
out
from
perfect.
NAPA could show up.
Yeah, from NAPA. Yeah, those days are.
There you go. I think I'm not even going to go over a number or anything like that. I think we're done. I think we are done for the day.
Sounds good.
Okay, talk to you later.